Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Teamwork. So, what do we have in store for you today? We have a real juicy activity. We've done this activity before in the past, and we've had a great response from our mentors. Our mentors love facilitating this activity, so mentors, roll up your sleeves. You're going to get to have your own, reality show, trial drama in your teamwork session. So you're going to get to have a chance to really experience like a trial. And this activity is called mock trial. So again, in the anger management and conflict resolution phase, we're going to do an activity called mock trial. All right, and it really is kind of pushing the envelope now. Talking about conflicts that can't be easily resolved, on the playground, so to speak. So what are some of these things that happen in real life when they grow up? Some of those conflicts that we're really going to have to depend on our judicial system, and how are those things handled. So really pushing the envelope about moral dilemma, integrity, ethics, making tough decisions and reasoning, and so on and so forth. So something for you to think about and marinate as you guys prepare for the mock trial activity. But it's a good one, I promise you. The kids love it too. So you're going to start off with your question of the day. Your question of the day is, how does society determine right from wrong? How does society determine right from wrong? And that's a pretty good question. When we talk about the rules that are come up in society and our different branches of the judicial system, so on and so forth, why are they there? So you can have a conversation, why do we think they're there? And then, do you feel our justice system is fair? Do you feel our justice system is fair? And our kids probably are going to have a lot to say about that. So keep an open mind, mentors. But just want to prepare you. They might have a lot to say about the justice system, but it's a great conversation to get them in the mindset before they start to, role play their mock trial experience. So those are your questions of the day. Now, what is your energizer? Again, to get them going, to get them to start thinking about how sometimes, things are true, maybe things aren't so true, and how attorneys and judges kind of play to that and make a case. But anyway, their energizer is 2 truths and a whopper, so it's pretty simple. Each student's going to get a pencil and a piece of paper, a half sheet or a slip of paper. They're going to write true truths about themselves and a whopper, i.e. being a lie, all right? So I might say on mine, I'll write on my slip, I've been to Iceland, my favorite color is blue, and I like riding bicycles, all right? So I'll write that on my slip. I will not put my name on it, and I'll drop it in a brown paper bag. So every student will do that. 2 truths and 1 lie, they'll drop it in the bag. It's all kept anonymous. And one of your mentors will grab the bag, pull the slips out one at a time, read the 3 statements. Your students will have to guess, who does it belong to, and which of the 3 statements is not true. All right, and it's that simple. So let's say they pull mine out and they go, oh, we think it's William, and we think his whopper is that he's been to Iceland. And I would say, that's correct, it is me, and I've never been to Iceland. And don't want to go to Iceland. But anyway, that's simple. 2 truths and a whopper. They write it on a slip, anonymously, drop it in the bag. Mentor gets the bag once everyone's done, pulls them out one by one. We try to guess who it is and which is their whopper. All right? Our next thing is our main activity. So again, giving our kids, taking conflict resolution to the next level, more in an adult, mature level, which is what happens as they get older in life. And hopefully they won't have to experience a lawsuit. But anyway, in the event they do, or they have family members who are experiencing lawsuits, just giving them, more valuable insight in how the justice system works. Again, getting them to challenge their critical thinking skills and reasoning, and making very difficult, tough decisions based on kind of those things that are sometimes a moral dilemma. All right? So how are we going to do mock trial? So remember, if we're role-playing and we're pretending we're on a trial, we got to choose some roles. So you're going to read out loud the different roles. There's a judge role, a defense attorney, a plaintiff's attorney, a plaintiff, a defendant, and you got to have a jury. All right, so pretty simple. So you read those descriptions, those job descriptions, if I may, out loud, and then have your students choose. So you'll need 1 judge, all right, 1 judge. You'll need 1 or 2 defense attorneys. It depends the size of your group, so you can decide that. You need 1 to 2 students to be your defense attorney or attorneys. You'll need 1 to 2 students to be your plaintiff, attorney, or attorneys. You need a plaintiff, and then you need a defendant, and then everyone else who doesn't have a role, of course, will be on the jury. All right? So 1 judge, 1 to 2 defense attorney, 1 to 2 plaintiff attorneys, 1 plaintiff, 1 defendant, and your jury. And you guys, I'm sure, know how that all works, right? And you'll have descriptions there for you to help you through that process. Next, all right, to get things going, you're going to send your jury, you're going to sequester the jury, you're going to have them go outside. So one of the mentors should go outside with the team of jurors and just start to have a little discussion, because you know they're going to need some time. Your attorneys and your judge are going to need a moment to build their cases. So have the jury go outside, and mentors, while you have them outside, get them thinking about them, get them excited, talk about, you know, maybe some courtroom drama that they've seen in TV, or maybe some stuff that they know in real life, but just really get them to start talking about different kind of trials, whether they're real life experience or things that they've seen on TV, but get them to talk about it. And I'm sure you can have a lot of fun. They can talk about Judge Judy and all those people that are out there, and have a fun discussion outside. All right, so the remaining students, the students that are in the classroom, are going to listen to the case. So mentors, one of you will have to read the case out loud. So I just wanted to give you in advance the case. It's Alex versus Jordan. The plaintiff is Alex, the defendant is Jordan. Okay, again, it's Alex versus Jordan. The plaintiff is Alex, the defendant is Jordan. And really quickly, I'm going to try to read this really fast. Jordan's known as a bully at his school. He's always starting fights. Most people try to avoid him because they don't want to get beat up. Last week, Jordan beat up one of Alex's closest friends and didn't get in trouble because nobody saw it. But this week, there's word going around the school that Jordan may get expelled because he was tagging in the bathroom, at least allegedly tagging in the bathroom. Alex saw Jordan at the grocery store, so he knows he actually didn't tag the bathroom because it happened in the evening when the school was closed. He saw them that night at the grocery store. So anyway, Alex thinks there's no way Jordan could have done it. He really knows because he saw him. But Alex knows that Jordan would get expelled from school if he gets held responsible for the graffiti. But Alex feels like Jordan should be punished since he beat up his friend and never got in trouble for that situation. So he feels like, ooh, here's a chance to get him in trouble because he didn't get in trouble for beating up his friend. So that's the case, all right? Alex is the plaintiff, Jordan is the bully, and so on and so forth, all right? So you read the case out loud. Now we have everybody get ready. So the attorneys, we're going to give your students a handout. They're each going to get an attorney worksheet. They'll prepare, they'll fill out the worksheet. And then the worksheet's pretty simple. You've got your opening remarks. They'll fill that out in there. You'll have your witness questions to ask their clients. So once their client's on the stand, they should have 5 questions, and we got 5 spaces here for them to ask their questions. And then their cross-examination questions. So depending if the plaintiff or the defendant is on the stand, they'll have some cross-examination questions. And don't forget that they're, again, that they're building a case, and that they shouldn't forget their closing remarks. So give them 10 to 15 minutes. So the plaintiff will sit with his attorneys. They'll talk about their opening remarks, their questions to ask while either's on the stand, their cross-examination questions, and then their closing remarks. So give them 10 to 15 minutes to sit with their plaintiff or defendant and build their case. Next, you bring the jurors back in. Hopefully your room is kind of set up where there's a judge and there's a place for them to take the witness stand and a place for the jury to sit, and so on and so forth. The judge will then introduce the case. So remember, the jury's never heard it, so he or she will read out loud the case, and then we just start. The plaintiff will always go first, then the defendant. Plaintiff, defendant, right? So your plaintiff will start with their opening remarks. The judge will call on the plaintiff for their opening remarks. Once they're done, the judge will then call on the defendant. So you're going back and forth like you've seen on TV or experience. The defendant will go with their opening remarks. Then the judge will call the plaintiff to the stand. He or she will sit there. Their attorney will ask them 5 questions. Then the defendant's attorney will have an opportunity to cross-examine and ask their 5 questions, and so on and so forth. All right. Next, the judge will then call the defense attorney, to ask their question, to bring their person on stand, ask their questions, whatever. So then it repeats. So just like I described before, it repeats. The plaintiff goes up first. His attorney will ask the 5 questions. The defense will get to ask their 5 questions, and then we're done. Then the defendant comes up, his attorney asks his questions, the plaintiff then asks their cross-examination, and then we're done. And then when it's all done, when everyone's done their cross-examining and questioning, the plaintiff will go first, give their closing remarks, and that's when they can be really dramatic and really try to sway the jury and give that reason of doubt or so on and so forth. And then of course the defendant will do the same thing with all the dramatics, I hope, and give their closing remarks. All right? And we're getting ready to wrap it up really quickly here. Now you'll sequester the jury again, give them about 10 to 15 minutes to deliberate privately. Mentor whoever's there responsible for the jury, really, instigate it, really get them to think about whether it's right or wrong and the moral values here. So have them take a vote. It has to be a consensus. For the purpose of this activity, we want it to be unanimous, and they'll come up with their decision. If applicable, they'll come up with a consequence or a punishment of some sort. And that's about it. And then you'll bring them back in. You'll have one juror stand up. The judge will call for that one juror to stand up, and that person will state the jury's decision or conclusion. And that's mock trial in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. So again, we're giving the kids an opportunity to see, when they grow up in life, how sometimes conflicts are resolved in court, and really give them that insight of how that all works. Get them to really think about those moral dilemmas sometimes that are difficult in reasoning and so on and so forth. So taking that conflict resolution to the next phase. All right, so I hope you enjoy yourself. As I told you, it's really, really fun. It sounds like a lot, but just think about what you've seen on TV, the going back and forth, and everybody defending their case, and then having a jury come on in, deliberating, give what they think is the way it all should be handled and set at the end of the day. All right? So enjoy yourself. Have fun with mock trial. I look forward to hearing how it all plays out. It's Will, signing out.